Good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Price Ward, and I am the Southwest Airlines Community Affairs and Grassroots Regional Leader. And it is a pleasure to be back once again to support BEYA. Want to thank Tyrone, and congratulations to all of our honorees this evening. Since Southwest Airlines' beginnings more than 42 years ago, can you believe it's been 42 years for Southwest Airlines? Our love airline, thank you. Our love airline has always approached business a little bit differently. We have instituted the 10-minute turn. We have democratized the skies with affordable air travel. And we hope that we're delivering legendary customer service to you. But one thing that has remained constant since Southwest Airlines took to the skies is doing the right thing. And it always comes from the heart. So tonight, Southwest Airlines, from the heart, would like to give away a couple of round-trip tickets to one of you. These tickets are good for any of Southwest Airlines' 96 destinations in our 41 states, the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, and 5 near international countries. The tickets have no blackout dates, and they are valid for 1 year. So, if everyone will look inside of their program, it's on the inside cover of your program, and if you are the winner, if you will please stand up to identify yourself. And it is a dot that you're looking for on the inside cover. I believe you have it right there at table 13. Congratulations. Thank you all, and enjoy the conference.
That was pretty exciting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now for the reason we have gathered here tonight, to recognize the contributions of outstanding individuals. First, the diverse faces of modern science, our science spectrum trailblazers. They have been singled out for making their imprint on their respective companies and in their fields at large. When I call your name, please come to the stage to receive your award. High performance, delivered, is Accenture's corporate slogan. The company's Cheryl Moo Young fulfills that promise daily, flawlessly, executing multi-million-dollar network and infrastructure implementations, contributing to $110 million in client sales. Please welcome Trailblazer Cheryl Moo Young. Rayanne Alves consistently performs in the top 5% of Accenture's more than 275,000 employees. A member of leadership team, she manages vendor and client contracts to ensure execution of technical and functional designs, business processes, and testing strategies. She also personally designed the curriculum for her 3 children who are homeschooled. Please welcome Trailblazer Rayanne Alves. Dwayne Armbruster has more than 20 years of experience in electrical instrumentation and control systems, a contractor with Aerotech and the electrical engineer at Duke Energy. He is exceptional in instrumentation for mechanical and civil engineering projects and also provides support for a new water treatment building. Please welcome Trailblazer Dwayne Armbrister. Rafael Valdez has been a key subcontractor in test engineering and systems engineering, supporting FAA air traffic control systems, including display system replacement, user request and evaluation tool, and most recently, the en route automation modernization and time-based flow management. Please welcome Trailblazer Rafael Valdez. Nice. Vishnuji Singh is Chief Executive Officer of Kaylee Aerospace Incorporated. Since joining the company in 2010, he increased overall profitability of the company, their aircraft engineering division, by 50%. He established a new product think tank, drawing staff members from all divisions and involving them in brainstorming engineering opportunities. He has also played a key role in expansion of Kaylee Aerospace Incorporated with its subsidiaries. Please welcome Trailblazer Vishnuji Singh. Donnell Johnson leads the aerodynamics development team for GM's advanced vehicle programs. His team, together with vehicle design, is responsible for establishing the low-drag aerodynamic capability of GM's future vehicles. He leverages his uncompromising styling skills to capture the styled brand features of each GM brand. Please welcome Trailblazer Donnell Johnson. Dr. Aboki Omekanda. His work is well recognized in the automotive industry and is documented in 17 issued patents and more than over 50 conference and journal papers. He is one of the foremost experts in electric drives, including switched reluctance and induction, and has made numerous contributions to their robust design, analysis, and control. Please welcome Trailblazer, Dr. Avoki Omekanda. A software engineer by training, Jennifer Cisse quickly mastered the aircraft subsystems, projects, and tasks, particularly in avionics and electrical systems, at Gulfstream Aerospace. A quick study with a strong project management background and proven leadership ability, she also took the initiative to request additional projects. Please welcome Trailblazer, Jennifer Cisse. John Johnson joined Gulfstream Aerospace Corporation in 1982. Among his many responsibilities during the course of his career have been to ensure the quality of the components utilized in the manufacturing of the Gulfstream 4 and Gulfstream 5 executive business aircraft. He rose to Material Review Board and ultimately to Quality Engineer 3 in the Quality Assurance Department. Please welcome Trailblazer John Johnson. Tamara Crawford recently served on special assignment at Lockheed Martin Aeronautics as the lead systems engineer for the F-22 production shutdown contract. She was responsible for coordination and execution of the vital F-22 production shutdown activities at the Lockheed Martin Fort Worth site. Her outstanding performance resulted in meeting contract milestones and deadlines with minimal impact of shutdown activities on delivery of F-22 mid-fuselages and ongoing F-35 production. Please welcome Trailblazer Tamara Crawford. Charles Leday Jr. is on the F-16 F-22 Integrated Fighter Group Weapons Systems Requirement and Design Team at Lockheed Martin Aeronautics. He's responsible for developing original capability requirements and avionics system design for the F-16s of the U.S. Air Force and allied nations. He manages day-to-day design and implementation activities and ensures they are executed so schedule milestones are met. Please welcome Trailblazer Charles Leday Jr. Carl Ciano's exceptional understanding of technical and project management details enables him to decisively act to benefit his team at Lockheed Martin Aeronautics. He specializes in software integration and is responsible for technical and schedule integration of the utilities and subsystems CSCIs. Previously, he was Flight Control and Operating System Software Flight Control Actuation Design Lead of the JSF program. Please welcome Trailblazer Carl Ciano. Crystal Johnson's responsibilities with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers include environmental engineering assignments supporting the varied civil works programs of the Chicago District. Among these are the Chicago Underflow Plan, McCook Reservoir, Continuing Authorities Program projects for ecosystem restoration and environmental infrastructure, and eDNA sampling that is assisting in the fight against Asian carp. Please welcome Trailblazer Crystal Johnson. A valued member of the U.S. Coast Guard's Operations Afloat and Intelligence Community, Lieutenant Junior Grade Megan Kopening was Deck Watch Officer and Communications Officer on the Cutter Valiant for 4 major inspections and 5 deployments. Among her accomplishments as Helicopter Control Officer, she launched the Cutter's deployed helicopter in a counter-narcotics case that recovered $32.5 million in cocaine. Please welcome Trailblazer Megan Kopening. Samuel Moses is responsible for building and leading Walmart's software engineering that provides services and capabilities in the company globally. He is also actively creating new paths for Walmart in India, influencing innovation, and is leading the company's strategic technology efforts that are a key element in its global strategy. Please welcome Trailblazer Samuel Moses. Eric Harrington's outstanding career achievements are in project management, integration, testing, and the sell-off of test program set software. Assigned to 581 SMXS at Robins Air Force Base, Georgia, his unsurpassed engineering leadership enabled his 20-member software team to sell off 15 test program set software within 3 months, 6 months ahead of schedule, and saving $1.5 million. Please welcome Eric Harrington. Previously, Roland Williams managed the Lockheed Martin Aeronautics team that produces avionics system level and subsystem detailed requirements for developing new and improved capabilities for the F-16 fighter aircraft. His work enables our nation's war fighters to better defend our nation. As a member of the company's newly formed Integrated Fighter Group, his current role encompasses F-16 and F-22 programs. Please welcome Trailblazer Roland Williams. Monica Leong has made major contributions to Lockheed Martin's Advanced Food Technology team. including heading up the Mass Reduction Technology Project for Johnson Space Center. She completed product development and testing of meal replacement bars and beverages in a compressed time frame. The center's Technology Transfer Office is exploring patents and evaluating commercial applications for the meal replacement bars Monica developed. Please welcome Trailblazer, Monica Leong. Gary Sims has more than 20 years' experience managing and motivating people, leading cross-functional and diverse teams, executing strategic planning initiatives, and providing application development and operational support for critical business systems. He specializes in IT strategy and the software development life cycle, and is accountable for a team of 60 high-performing technologists and support personnel supporting key information systems and global solutions civil business clients. Gary Sims. Lockheed Martin's Raquel Figueroa directly oversees the day-to-day activities for 3,000 point-to-point telecommunication circuits and systems supporting the nation's war on terror around the globe. As part of the United States Army Information Technology Agency's Enterprise Transport Management Program at the Pentagon, he leads a 24/7 technical control facility operation responsible for operations and maintenance of worldwide voice, video, and data command and control communications networks. Please welcome Trailblazer, Raquel Figueroa. Ernest Smiley is the first Chief of Future Systems within the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency that supports 4,000 analysts across the agency and intelligence community. He has more than 25 years of extensive experience in integrating information technology requirements, data, and technologies associated with collection, storage, dissemination, and management, and previously served at the CIA, NASA, DOE, and the United States Army. Please welcome Trailblazer, Ernest Smiley. Katrina Mansfield currently serves the PMA 265 FA H-18D Hornet Malaysia Acting Class Deck and Avionics Systems Project Engineer. She's responsible for functionality, modifications, and upgrades of all systems in the FA-18 Hornet aircraft for Malaysia. Previously, she served on the T-45 Training Systems platform as the Mission Systems Avionics Engineer, as lead engineer for the Communications Navigation System, Air Traffic Management Systems. Please welcome Trailblazer, Katrina Mansfield. The virtual schoolhouse that An Nguyen developed does what most training systems cannot. It connects existing multi-million-dollar trainers to the virtual world, allowing students and instructors to view and operate live systems from a remote location. He is currently the lead engineer for the project. This in-depth training program for the Navy has gained significant traction recently for its ability to provide excellent fleet training in a virtual setting at a significantly lower cost to the Department of Defense. Please welcome Trailblazer, An Nguyen. Since joining aerospace in 2003, Bernard Jefferson has become a recognized industry expert in space power systems. He serves as general chair of the 2014 Space Power Workshop, the space power industry's leading vehicle to transfer the latest developments in space power, batteries, and solar cells to the space community. In 2000, Bernard started the Ernest E. Just Marine Biology Study Program to encourage low-income inner-city youth to pursue careers in STEM fields. It has grown into a continuous 9-month educational segment in collaboration with the University of Southern California and Toyota Corporation. A research scientist with Boeing Research and Technology in the Optics and Signal Processing Technology Group, Dr. Tae-On Lam works on new technology development and business capture opportunities in metamaterials, radio frequency, optics, and microsystem and electronics technologies. He has more than 13 granted or pending patent applications. At age 10, Dr. Lam was one of the millions of Vietnamese boat people. Please welcome trailblazer, Dr. Tae-On Lam. A patent attorney with more than 17 years of experience, Euclid Wu is the patent portfolio manager at the Boeing Company, where he focuses on intellectual property strategies for research and development agreements, review patents applications and responses, and performs portfolio evaluations. He leads an integrated team involving a patent agent, engineers, and patent administrators, and is also lead patent administrator on special projects. Please welcome trailblazer Euclid Wu. As project engineer in the Houston resident office of the United States Army Corps of Engineers, Franchelle Kraft is the youngest supervisor in the Galveston district. She oversees construction contracts involving flood protection, levee repairs, maintenance dredging, and confined disposal dikes. She was instrumental in implementing the district's STEM awareness program for underrepresented middle and high school students. Please welcome trailblazer Franchelle Kraft. Congratulations to all of our trailblazers. And now, for our 2014 Emerald Honors awardees. This year's recipients hail from industry, government, and research institutions. They have distinguished themselves as innovators whose creative thinking and implementation are helping to change the world for the better. Our first presenter, who will introduce the recipient of the Professional Achievement in Industry Award, is responsible for Morgan State University's research policy, oversight of the administration, and management of grants and contracts to support faculty research activity, and oversight of responsible conduct of research education and compliance. Please welcome the Vice President of Research and Economic Development for Morgan State University and the 2011 Emerald Honors Scientist of the Year. Please welcome Dr. Victor McCrary.
Good evening, everyone. In 1989, Shelley Weems joined BDM International to support a project with Dovel Technologies for the SEC Edgar program. As a software developer, she set in motion her path to success. Shelley moved to a management position on Edgar thanks to the encouragement by Dovel co-founder Dov Levy, and later became deputy program manager on an American Red Cross project. Now, she leads the Health and Human Services account. As a vice president for Dovel's Health IT business unit, she develops complex technology solutions, supports corporate growth initiatives, and oversees 2 mission-critical FDA programs. Please welcome, and I'm proud to present, Ms. Shelley Weems.
Growing up in a single-parent home, I first learned the disciplines of hard work and sacrifice through my mother. Thanks to her selfless encouragement, I pursued my aspirations to be an engineer and was blessed to have an incredible mentor who also challenged me to excel in my career. Together, they both taught me the value of discipline, focus, and self-assurance. They also guided and inspired my personal mantra, life has no limits, only those that we impose upon ourselves. I'd like to thank my professional and personal mentors for all of their support throughout my professional career. And remember, never give up on yourself and never give up on your dreams. Thank you.
Now it's my pleasure to present the most promising scientist in government award. Charles Doxley developed an interest in STEM at an early age. Today, his work at NASA is critical to the continued success of the space network. Among his major responsibilities, he designs and develops software programs and hardware subsystems that help test and verify NASA space radios. These improve communications between space and ground transmissions. Charles specializes in using modern digital signal processing techniques and programmable semiconductor devices. But in addition, he also started a K-12 robotics program in Cleveland and is a previous BEYA Modern Day Technology leader. It is my privilege to present Charles Doxley.
Good evening. As a youth, science and math professionals did not exist in my community. So when my high school calculus teacher told me I'd make a great engineer, that statement had no substance to me. So what I did to choose my college major was I grabbed a salary sheet. First on the list was nuclear engineering. I thought, whoa, too dangerous. Next on the list was chemical engineering. That was still a little bit too dangerous. Third was electrical engineering. I assumed I can handle a little shock. So at that point, I decided I'll work as hard as I can be to be the best engineer that I can be. And I would also work even harder to educate youth about STEM fields and professions. So today, I stand here, a NASA engineer, a BEYA awardee, and most importantly, a mentor who will never let a child choose their college future by using multiple choice as I did. Thank you.
The next presenter of our Most Promising Scientist in Government Award is responsible for leadership and management of corporate research and development and capabilities stewardship at Sandia National Laboratories. He is also responsible for leadership of technology transfer and strategic research relationships with universities, industry, and the state of New Mexico. Please welcome Chief Technology Officer and Vice President of Science and Technology at Sandia National Laboratories in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Livermore, California, Dr. Stephen Rottler.
There's nothing more enjoyable than seeing one of our employees being recognized for their work, and I'm particularly flattered to have been invited by Aaron to present his award tonight. Dr. Aaron Brundage is responsible for finding novel solutions to tough technical challenges at Sandia National Laboratories, a leading engineering and science laboratory for national security innovation. As a principal investigator, his expertise in thermal analysis, heat transfer, energetic materials, and combustion directly affects national security. His strength in biological fluid dynamics has also resulted in assessing protective equipment and incorporating advanced technology to reduce the extent of traumatic brain injury for military personnel in combat. The results of these findings could also lead to better protection for athletes and other non-military individuals. It's my pleasure, and I'm very proud to present Dr. Aaron Brundage.
At the age of 3, my mother brought home a Lego 566 kit. And as I spent the day building the house pictured on the box, it lit a spark of creativity and innovation, birthing a lifelong interest in engineering. During my toughest times in school, I could hear my mother telling me, "It's God's desire that you finish your education." I don't even recall who told me that I should become a mechanical engineer, but I became one of the first black students in nearly 35 years to obtain a doctorate in engineering from the combustion area at Purdue University.
Our next presenter of the Most Promising Scientist in Industry Award is responsible for all the research at GM on engines, transmissions, hybrid systems, electric motors, and power electronics. Please welcome the Director of Global Research and Development Laboratories for General Motors Company, Michael Harpster.
Dr. Ron Grover's work in research and development has elevated GM to new heights. As a pivotal member of the company's research and development team, he's an expert in spray modeling, engines, fuel sprays, and the interaction of fuel injection with the combustion system. As a result, he has been a major contributor to the development of several GM engines. As an accomplished team builder who can understand and explain complex concepts, Ron is valued by his colleagues and is also a technical mentor to domestic, international engineers, summer interns, and graduate students. I am proud to present Dr. Ron Grover.
Good evening. I'd like to ask Charles for a copy of that salary sheet before we leave here this evening. My outlook on engineering is a direct byproduct of my upbringing. I grew up in a household having tangible, memorable experiences with parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and a great-great-grandmother, and other close family. My strong church family was my spiritual foundation and held me accountable for my actions. My mother exposed me to youth groups, summer camps, after-school sports, orchestra, and band. My friends in school were black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and saw me for not who I was, or saw me for who I was and not what I looked like. All these continue to inform the man I am today, collaborating and coordinating with teams throughout the globe. Thank you.
Now I have the honor of presenting the Research Leadership Award. The co-inventor of more than 90 patents, Dr. Norman Buckner has a well-earned reputation for excelling in concept initiation, detailed design, and proof-of-concept validation in our propulsion systems research laboratory. His expertise and guidance in automotive transmissions and engine subsystems are improving vehicle performance and fuel economy, especially in vehicle electrification and the design of hybrid vehicle architectures. Norman's contribution to the Chevrolet Volt electric car has helped make the car a success, earning it numerous awards, including Leader in Strategic Vision's 2013 Total Quality Award for Best Midsize Car. I am proud to present Dr. Norman Buckner.
Evening, everybody. Confession. Growing up in Jamaica, I loved building aircraft models, and I really wanted to be a pilot, actually. My uncle was an industrial engineer, but from what little I knew as a kid, that didn't seem all that interesting. But then luckily for me, I also like to read. So while browsing in the high school library one day, I discovered a 1960s picture book about MIT's engineering teaching and research. It was an epiphany, and the first time I realized that engineering could be a rewarding and challenging career. However, from that small seed, what really brings me to this honor are the years of collaboration with GM colleagues, the great teachers I've had throughout my education, and a nurturing family. They inspire me to do my best. Thank you.
To present our next recipient of the Research Leadership Award, here is the Chief Engineer of Enterprise Environment, Health, and Safety for the Boeing Company. He is responsible for integrating EHS thinking into all design phases of Boeing products and services and ensuring that the company's technology, research, and development strategies support its goal of reducing its environmental footprint and driving efforts to reduce injuries to zero. Please welcome Tim Vinipal.
Dr. Zhidong Xu joined Boeing in 2006. He developed and taught the course of human factors and aviation safety. He was involved in the redesign of cockpit interfaces used by the crew for safe flight, and as a technical lead for human-in-the-loop testing for trajectory-based operations and other research projects. Zhidong was recognized as an expert in human automation interfaces. He also led a project assessing safety of next generation for NASA and has been playing a critical role for Boeing workplace safety improvements. His systems approach has changed how workplace safety at Boeing is viewed and assessed. I'm very proud to present Zhidong Xu.
Good evening. I grew up in a rural area in China with my grandparents. At that time, there's no electricity. But we always believe in education. As a teenager, I was always interested in science and believed in its power. I was very lucky when I was admitted to the PhD programs at the Central Michigan University and the University of Illinois, where I got to do very interesting research in human factors in aviation. At Boeing, I have expanded the scope of my work from human factors to safety in complex socio-technical systems. Again, I consider myself to be very lucky because I'm paid to do something that I'm passionate about. There are many people I would like to thank, but I'm not to suppose a list of thank you in this speech, but other than mention one person who is Suzanne Riney, sitting at the table 12. She's a senior manager at Boeing, for allowing me to work on very interesting project improving workplace safety at Boeing. Thank you everybody.
To present the recipient of the Outstanding Technical Contribution in Industry Award, please welcome the IBM executive who's responsible for execution of the company's power and mainframe product engineering deliverables and holds 10 U.S. patents, the Vice President of Technology Product Engineering and Memory Flash Development for the IBM Systems and Technology Group, Dr. Percy V. Gilbert.
Good evening. Dr. Solomon Assefa's contributions are critical to IBM, where he works on highly complex projects. One of his main areas of responsibility is nanophotonics technology to support optical interconnects. His work led to the research, development, and successful technology transfer to IBM's commercial manufacturing foundry, which can profoundly affect technology. It involves learning about replacing copper wires with tiny silicon circuits inside computer chips, allowing greater information sharing with less energy usage. Among other areas of expertise, he has researched fundamental scientific breakthroughs at the nanoscale and system-level integration for commercial technology development. Unfortunately, Dr. Solomon Assefa was called away for a family emergency, and I accept his award on his behalf tonight. Thank you.
The presenter of the Medical Leadership Award has been with the Boeing Company for 17 years. She supports the enterprise delivery of everything from occupational and aerospace medicine, epidemiology, human subjects protection and hearing conservation, to international health services, employee assistance programs, and family care resources. She also supports post-offer medical screening and the Boeing Industrial Athlete Program. Please welcome Boeing's Senior Manager of Global Occupational Health, Dr. Deborah R. Smith.
Good evening. Dr. Denise Clement provides medical support to the Boeing family, which includes commercial airplanes, defense systems, engineering operations and technology, and shared services group. She's also responsible for supporting our clinics, pre-employment services, and environment, health, and safety. As chair of the Occupational Health Examination Committee and the Health Services Focal for Corporate Well-Being, she oversees programs and mentors occupational medicine residents from the University of Washington Occupational Medicine Residency Program. Prior to joining Boeing, she was with Ford Motor Company, responsible for their employee health services in 18 countries. I'm proud to present Dr. Denise Clement.
Good evening. My parents were teachers who taught science, math, library science, and agriculture. They helped me create erupting volcanoes and explain the aqualung for science fairs. In our house, science was just as cool as sports. I got the curiosity gene from them. From learning about chemicals to develop photographs in a dark room to oceanography, it was all about the excitement of discovery. Whether your field is science, math, engineering, technology, or medicine, I would say stay curious. There are wonders yet to be found and shared with the world, and it keeps life exciting. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce our 2014 Emerald Honors Scientist of the Year, we want to bring back last year's Scientist of the Year for our Passing the Torch remarks. Please welcome the Senior Vice President of Quality Assurance, Regulatory and Engineering Services for Abbott Laboratories, Corliss D. Murray.
Science is absolutely thrilling. There is nothing more exciting than discovery. The magic door that opened my world to engineering happened during my high school years. I worked as a summer intern at IBM and then in a summer co-op program for industrial engineering at the Norfolk Naval Shipyard. It's hard to believe that 25 years have passed since Abbott Laboratories first opened a door for me for my career. I am reminded of the story of a young woman who visited her grandmother and confided that she was feeling overwhelmed at work. Grandma took her into the kitchen and filled 3 pots with water. She placed each on a high fire. Soon the pots began to boil. In the first, she placed carrots. In the second, she placed eggs. And in the last, she placed ground coffee beans. After about 20 minutes, she turned off the burners. Turning to her granddaughter, she asked, "Now tell me what you see." "I see carrots, eggs, and coffee," she replied. Grandma asked her to feel the carrots. She did and noted that they were soft. Grandma then asked her to take the egg and break it. Her granddaughter observed that the egg had become hard-boiled. Finally, Grandma asked her to sip the coffee. She tasted its rich aroma. Grandma explained that while each of these objects had faced the same adversity, boiling water, each had reacted differently. The carrot went in strong and hard and unrelenting, but after being subjected to the boiling water, it softened and became weak. The egg had been fragile, but after sitting in the boiling water, its inside became hardened. The ground coffee beans, however, were unique. After they were boiling in the water, they had changed it by releasing their fragrance and flavor. Grandma asked, "When you meet up with a challenge, which are you?" If you're the carrot, you seem strong, but with adversity, you become soft and lose your strength. If you're the egg, you start out with a malleable heart, but become hardened and tough. But if you're the coffee bean, when things get challenging, you come into your own and change the situation around you. Each of us has the ability to be the coffee, strong coffee. More importantly, as I pass the torch, I believe that each of us has the ability to help others get perking. That is our purpose. Now it's my privilege to introduce our presenter of the BEYA Scientist of the Year. He is responsible for leading research for Corning Incorporated globally, including all of the international-based research labs. His vision for research is to invent the next big thing for Corning. A member of the National Academy of Engineering, He most recently has been elected Fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Science. Please welcome Corning's Senior Vice President of Global Research, Dr. Gary Calabrese.
Thank you. Good evening. A highly accomplished research scientist and expert in optical fiber and wireless communication, Dr. Anthony Ngoma is one of our company's most respected scientists. He holds international degrees in electronics, telecommunications, and engineering, and a PhD in electrical engineering. He has authored or co-authored more than 75 technical publications. But if you ask him the secret to his success, he'll tell you it's about daring to dream and his love of reading. As a child, he recalls reading everything he could get his hands on. He had a particular interest in math, science, and technology, especially how to fly a plane and how radio broadcasting works. Today, he is helping to chart the future in telecommunications. He is responsible for creating new product concepts and ensuring that Corning's products perform just as promised. In the last 10 years, Anthony has made significant research contributions to the field of fiber wireless communications technology. He successfully designed, planned, and implemented a state-of-the-art testbed for conducting radio over fiber technology research. Since joining Corning, Anthony has been granted 1 patent and has filed 7 applications and 2 additional invention disclosures. As wired in as he is to all forms of technology, he's the first to caution that some families overuse it and says that people sometimes don't even talk to each other. They just send text messages to each other. And that's certainly a message for some of our kids, right? Please welcome the Scientist of the Year, Dr. Anthony Ngoma.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. My journey in science began in Zambia, Southern Africa. Anybody knows where Zambia is? Deep in the south. It's been an exciting journey, complete with many challenges, as well as many, many memorable experiences. Being named BEYA Mayor's Scientist of the Year is a great honor and a major highlight in my continuing journey. Looking back, there are many important lessons I have learned along the way. Apart from hard work, which is essential for any career, especially in science, I have found that 3 things have made the biggest difference in my career. These are are a result of sustained collaborative efforts over long periods of time. I have learned that this is the same steadfastness that's required on a personal level to succeed. It is worth pointing out that where there is passion, there will always be perseverance. Finally, people. I have found that external factors, as in people, have had the greatest impact on my career. This includes my family, who supported me through education, my wife, Ivy, who is here today, and our two daughters, Gisela and Bene, who make up a formidable team. And there is a special group of people whose simple act of according me a chance at various critical stages of my career to prove myself made all the difference for me. Coney Incorporated, my current employer, is a perfect example of such, and I'm truly indebted. Now, the critical role people play in a career is one of the greatest revelations I've had so far. I have come to realize that although producing amazing scientific and technological inventions is awesome, that's truly awesome, there is nothing more powerful than helping to create a new breed of scientists and engineers. There are many young people all around us who either don't know how exciting science and technology are, or who need support and guidance. There are many more who desire to have just that opportunity to demonstrate their skills and prove themselves. There is no greater contribution any of us here and out there can make to science and technology than to empower our young people and those new to science to be successful. Let us all do our part and make a difference. Thank you.
Wow. I have to say, I have been to Zambia, and it is beautiful. I just had to get that in there. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver this evening's keynote remarks, please welcome back last year's Emerald Honor Scientist of the Year, Corliss Murray.
I want to congratulate all of our Emerald Honor and Trailblazer winners. You are extraordinary in your fields, and it is a privilege to see so many of you recognized for your impressive accomplishments. I think you all deserve another round of applause. You know, recently I was speaking with an engineer who was struggling with work-related activities that were going on at his company. They were having a direct effect on his ability to perform his responsibilities. I suggested that he seek the advice of a mentor. And you know what he said? What do I need a mentor for? Which brings me to this observation. I believe that we as a culture still struggle with the concept of asking for help, that somehow is seen as a weakness or an inadequacy. But I am here to tell you that without mentors in my life, I would not be standing on this stage. When you think of it, we could look at everyone we meet as potential mentors, someone we can learn from. Granted, some are good and some are bad, because every relationship or meeting, no matter how fleeting, comes with a lesson that we can take away from it. Obviously, there's a difference between fleeting and the ones worth keeping. The keepers are those we allow to serve as individual contributors to our lives, our true advocates, and life sponsors. They foster in us greater self-awareness. They give us guidance. Is it a risk to let others in? Sure. But the alternative is worse, and that is letting no one in. We have to be willing to open ourselves up to hear honest, constructive input and feedback, and to take it without being defensive. To put all of this in scientific terms, I call it the people formula. Now let me share with you some of my personal reflections about a few of the many people that pulled me up, propped me up, and pushed me forward. First, my beloved grandfather. He was a cotton farmer in Louisiana. He had just an 8th grade education, but that was no measure of his intellect and his intuitive gifts. He was strong in math and absolutely brilliant managing financials. From him, I gained and valued the importance of hard work, trusting in the belief that it would pay off. His work ethic was extremely high, and he was known to be a man of his word. I learned by his example the importance of meeting one's commitments and deadlines. When you say you're going to do something, do it, and do it when promised. Keeping your word builds your credibility. Likewise, when you don't, it detracts from it. And credibility is everything in one's business and personal lives. Grandfather gave me a love of math and science. In spite of his lack of education, his thought process was one that embraced efficiency, even in how he managed his farm. He appreciated technology and how his farming operation could benefit from it. He didn't really understand engineering, but he certainly understood the benefits of using the tools and processes to help you to strive to be the best you could possibly be in whatever field you chose, literally and figuratively. Then there was my mother. Mom gave us all her love and focus. She pushed us, demanded discipline, and kept us grounded. I learned humility and gratitude that continue to be my foundation to this day. And if ever there was a role model for balancing work and family, she was it. In her infinite wisdom, she understood how those two worlds needed to coexist if you were a working mother. Mom worked full-time and completed her last year of college when I was in high school. I know there were times when she was exhausted, and it must have really been tough, but she never gave up, and she didn't give out. Somehow, some way, she even found the time and energy to cook hot meals every day, something I still marvel at whenever I swing by a restaurant to pick up carryout. On the professional front, I was just a year out of college when I had the opportunity to work with my first production team. During this experience, I learned a lot about myself and about being part of a team. Again, the people formula. I learned that my passion is not necessarily that of others. I gained the realization that change is not easy, but it is necessary. Having said that, I came to understand that I do not have the ability to change anyone, but I do have full control over myself. In other words, I have the ability to influence how I approach a situation, which can help drive a healthier, more positive interaction with others. The result? Change can occur when it would be driven by my approach rather than actually trying to change someone else. My first mentor at Abbott was my first manager. The relationship was so organic, so seamless, that I was being mentored without even realizing it. It helped me learn even more about myself and to discover skills that are effective in working in teams and team building in general. For me, it was like having an ongoing master's class. Many projects that I had worked on professionally up to this point were more self-directed. With the guidance of my non-mentor mentor, I found I was managing more effectively, under tight time constraints, and at the same time producing high-quality results while working to get the best from each team member. I ultimately accomplished this by learning to understand each person individually, respect their strengths, and best utilize them for the good of the overall team. Now, in addition to these major influencers, are many others who have contributed greatly to my life. There are the legends whose lessons we all learn from and whose legacies we hold dear. They are monuments of achievements in Black history, our forefathers and foremothers. Some of them reached greatness without the benefit of the internet, smartphones, or apps. They were blessed with brains, good common sense, inspiration, and humility. And we were blessed with their heritage. It is especially fitting that the BEYA STEM Global Competitiveness Conference is held every February during Black History Month. What better time to laud the accomplishments of those from the past that continue to inspire us as we celebrate our colleagues from the present. As for me, I was inspired by George Washington Carver to have a thirst for knowledge. He was born into slavery. Despite overwhelming challenges, including being separated from his family and ultimately raised by the slave owner at the end of the Civil War, education meant everything to him. He became the first Black student at Iowa State Agricultural College and went on to become one of the nation's most prolific inventors and prominent scientists. I learned about fighting the odds from legendary Marie Curie. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only woman to win the award in both physics and chemistry. And that was at a time when women were not just dealing with breaking through the glass ceiling, theirs was made of cement. Though Madame Curie was not allowed to attend the men-only University of Warsaw, she educated herself in a secret underground conduit of informal classes. She later worked her way through school at the Sorbonne in Paris. Her achievements included her theory of radioactivity and the discovery of the elements polonium and radium. From one of the nation's most influential chemists, Percy Levon Julian, I learned the power of believing in oneself. The son of a former slave, he was not allowed to attend high school, yet ultimately succeeded in earning his PhD. But not before he endured repeated rejections, solely because he was Black, when he applied for positions at prominent chemical companies or wanted to be considered for a full professorship. In January 2006, I learned the significance of the numerals 6, 9, 8, 5, 9, 2, 2. That's the number assigned to the U.S. patent granted to Jane Emerson Bashan, the first African-American woman to hold a patent for software invention. About her accomplishments, she reflected, "My success and failures make me who I am, and who I am as a Black woman raised in the South by working-class parents who tried to give me a better life by fostering a fervent commitment to succeed." From Dr. Patricia Bath, I learned the importance of pioneering the way for women. In 1973, she became the first African-American to complete a residency in ophthalmology and then the first female faculty member in the Department of Ophthalmology at UCLA's Jules Stein Institute. She also invented the laser phaco probe to improve the treatment of cataract patients and was the first African-American female doctor to receive a medical patent. From Dr. Ben Carson, I learned it doesn't matter where you've come from, only where you're going. He came from the rough streets of the inner city of Detroit, where he and his brother were raised by their mom. She was determined to provide for her boys, even though it took 3 jobs to get it all done. She also taught them that anything in life was possible. And so it came to be that the son of this family that was on medical assistance and had to wait for hours just to be seen by a hospital intern would become the world-renowned director of pediatric neurosurgery who performed groundbreaking surgery to separate conjoined twins. The people formula, inspiration at work. Now, speaking of great minds, Albert Einstein once observed, "The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it." Good old Al was right. His words have been a rallying cry for my own personal passion to give back to those around me. When I speak to my colleagues, they may say, "But Corliss, you have so many passions," and that's true. I do. However, this one resonates with me with the greatest depth. Not only is it my passion, it is my priority. I want you to stop for a moment and look around this ballroom. That's right. I want you to take a look around. Literally, everywhere your eyes land, you're looking at a powerful resource, a powerful source of personal power. You, and you, all are personal power. We have all reached this place in our careers because there's someone, likely many someones, who helped us along the way. Now each of us have a responsibility to reach back and pay it forward. As we look at giving back, we must reach deeper into our communities, into our schools, and re-energize and ignite greater passion for math and science among our youth. We are not fully winning in STEM. By that I mean statistics are declining for female and minority youth entering the STEM fields. And of those that do, we're still losing some that don't actually practice in the fields. In some cases, parents are just not familiar with the types of opportunities that exist, and we can't depend on schools alone to tackle this. We in corporate America can and must address this challenge, and it's a big one. We must work well beyond mentoring programs. We must actively work within our corporations to establish programs that are structured, programs that work with schools to enable young people to gain access and exposure to what's possible. We must be creative, resourceful, innovative, and do whatever it takes to meet the challenge. There was a man and a woman who had been married for more than 60 years. They shared everything and kept no secrets from each other, except that for years the woman had a shoebox in the top of her closet that she had cautioned her husband never to ask about or open. For all those years, he never gave it a thought. But one day, the woman got very sick, and the doctor said she would not recover. In trying to sort out all of their affairs before her passing, the old man took the shoebox down from the shelf and brought it to his wife's bedside. She agreed it was time for him to know what was in the box. When he opened it, he found 2 crochet dolls and a stack of money totaling $95,000. He asked her about the contents. She said, "When we were going to be married, Aunt Sally told me the secret of a happy marriage is never to argue. She said if I ever got angry with you, I should keep it to myself and crochet a doll." The man was moved to tears, seeing that only 2 dolls were in the box. He concluded that they had only been angry 2 times in 60 years together. "Honey," he said, "but where did the $95,000 come from?" "Oh," she replied, "that's the money I made from selling all the other dolls." Okay. She was good. In addition to the people formula in your lives, there is just no substitute for creative thinking. and smart women. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Corliss. Great story. It's been a great privilege to host this prestigious event. My sincere congratulations to all who were honored this evening. And if you want to learn more about BEYA, tune into BEYA TV. It's channel 83 in your hotel room. Did everyone enjoy this evening? Round of applause for all of you. Thank you, and have a good evening. I don't think the mic's on. Could we have all of the honorees to come up to the stage for a group picture, please? All of the honorees, please come up to this stage. Thank you.
you.